Hey everyone! In this video today, I want to show you guys how to make this absolutely beautiful heart friendship bracelet for Pride Month. This is, sadly, the last video in my Pride Month series for June, and of course, you can't have Pride without a freaking rainbow. The only reason I have waited so long to make an actual rainbow color palette is because I just couldn't really find one that I liked or one that really jumped out to me until I found this really cute heart bracelet. I am going to show you how to make this in only 4 steps. So if you want to learn how to make this absolutely adorable heart pattern, then keep on watching. So for this bracelet, obviously you are going to need your rainbow colors. So I have a mess of my strings here, but I obviously have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And obviously I am using Sullivan's thread. It is my absolutely most favorite affordable thread that you can buy in the US. And for your strings, you will need 2 of your red and 2 of your orange, 2 of your blue, 2 of your purple, and then for your green and yellow strands, you will need 4 strands from each color. Since we have this bigger chunk of the heart in the middle, you have to double up on that. And as far as measuring goes, 35 to 40 inches should be plenty of string for a loop at the top if that is the route you want to go, and ties on the end. Or if you want ties on both ends, this bracelet is just under 6 inches and I had plenty of string to get all of this in. As you can see, I have a very sad attempt at a multicolored loop. I am just so bad at making these multicolored loops. I don't know what it is, I can just never get them to look nice, but I thought it looked cute for this pattern. And then I did this sort of outward shape start on it, so instead of having a teardrop loop, I did it the other way. But the way I'm going to teach this pattern, you will probably want to make a teardrop loop, because I'm going to show you a very easy way to knot this in a way that's knotted in a chevron formation, which is going to be a bit of a slower way to work it up, but it's perfect for if you are just trying to get the pattern down or you're more of a beginner. So I'll have a tutorial for the teardrop loop in the top right corner if that's something you need to look at really quick. And I am changing up the color order just a little bit from the pattern, so this is how the pattern itself looks, but I didn't really like how the color order on the outsides were working up with the steps. Like, I would even get myself a little bit confused, so I'm gonna swap the red and the orange and the blue and purple around. So it might look a little bit different from what I have here, just ever so slightly, but just letting you guys know that that is happening. So if you have a teardrop loop, then it'll be so much easier to keep all of these strings in line and keep some of it more separated as you initially start the pattern. But like I've said before, it's completely optional. You can do a start however you want to, or you don't have to do it at all. But for your color order, from the left side to our middle here, you want to order your strings red, red, orange, orange, yellow, green, yellow, green. And then from the right side to the center, you're going to order your strings blue, blue, purple, purple, yellow, green, yellow, green. Like I said, we are going to work this up as if we're making a chevron, just so that it's easier to follow from the very start. So whatever we do on the left side to the center, we're going to do on the right side to the center as well, but we're going to mirror it. So on the left side, we'll take our outermost left red strand here, and we are going to do forward knots across the next 3 strings to the right of it, and then on the 4th one, we'll do a forward backward knot. So we are going to drop our red strand that we just did our knots with, and then we're going to pick up the yellow strand that we just finished knotting onto. And we are going to take that yellow strand and we are going to do forward knots across the next 3 strands to the right of it. And so now we're going to move over to the right side and do all the same steps but mirror them. So on our outermost right strand, we're going to take our blue strand here, and now we are going to do backward knots onto the next 3 strands to the left of it. And then on this 4th one here, we will do a backward forward knot. And then we're also going to drop our blue strand, pick up the yellow strand that we just knotted onto, and this time we're going to do backward knots across the next 3 strands to the left of it. And then we're going to take our middle 2 yellow strands here and make a forward knot to close up the chevron. And now we're moving on to our 2nd row. We're going to come back to our outermost left strand, and again we are going to do forward knots across the next 3 strings to the right of it. Then on the 4th one we will do a forward backward knot. And now we are changing up the rest of the row just a little bit here. So we are going to move over to our first yellow strand from the left. So it'll be next to this green strand that we just finished knotting onto. We're going to take this yellow strand and we're going to do a backward knot onto the green strand to the left of it. And then we're going to put that off to the side, and with this same green strand that we knotted onto, we are going to take that strand and do forward knots across the next 2 strands to the right of it. And now let's move over to the right side and repeat everything except mirror it. So we're going to take our outermost right strand, which will be our 2nd blue strand, and we are going to do backward knots across the next 3 strands to the left of it, and then on the 4th one here we'll do a backward forward knot. And again, drop the blue strand on the right. We're going to pick up the first yellow strand from the right, so it'll be next to the green strand that we just knotted onto, and we're going to do a forward knot onto that green strand to the right of it. And then we'll pick this green strand back up again and do backward knots across the next 2 strands to the left of it. And then we're going to finish off this row by doing a forward knot with our middle 2 green strands. And now for our 3rd chevron row, we're going to come back to the left side again. We're going to pick up our outermost left strand, which is now going to be orange, and just like before, we are going to do forward knots across the next 3 strands to the right of it. Then on this 4th one here, we'll do a forward backward knot. And then we're going to pick up the first green strand from the left, so it'll be next to the yellow strand that we just finished knotting onto, and we're going to do a backward knot onto the yellow strand to the left of it. And then we're going to pick this yellow strand back up, and we are going to do forward knots across the next 2 strands to the right of it. And then we're going to move over to the right side and pick up our newest outermost right strand, which is now purple, and again do backward knots across the next 3 strands to the left of it, and then on the 4th one here we'll do a backward forward knot. We're going to move over to the green strand that is right next to the yellow strand that we just knotted onto, and we're going to do a forward knot onto the yellow strand with that green one. And then drop it off to the side. We'll pick up this yellow strand again, and we're going to do backward knots across the next 2 strands to the left of it. And again, connect your middle 2 strands with a forward knot. And now we are on our final row of the whole set. So we're coming back to our outermost left strand again. And now this time, we are only going to do forward knots onto the next 3 strands to the right of it. So no forward backward knot on this side. We are just doing 3 forward knots. And then we're going to pick up the first green strand that is next to our orange strand, and we are going to do a backward forward knot onto this orange strand to the left of it. And then we are going to do forward knots across the next 3 strings to the right of it. And then let's move over to the right side and finish off this pattern. So just like the left side, we are going to take our outermost right strand, which is going to be our 2nd purple strand here. And this time we are only doing backward knots onto the next 3 strands to the left of it. And then we are going to pick up the green strand that is next in line, next to our purple strand that we just knotted with, and we are going to do a forward backward knot onto that purple strand. And then we are going to do backward knots across the next 3 strands to the left of it. And then to finish off the whole set, you're going to take your middle 2 green strands and tie a forward knot. And that completes the heart, which completes the first set in this bracelet. Now, like I said, doing it this way is incredibly slow, but I think once you start getting used to the pattern, you might find a quicker way to segment knot it, and that's perfectly okay. Or if you want to take it slow, then just keep following this video over and over again until you have your whole bracelet completed. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video today, and most importantly, thank you for watching all of my Pride videos that I released this month. It was a lot of work and a lot of the patterns had to be easy so that I could put out as many Pride patterns as I could. And while I wish I could do more, I feel like this month was pretty awesome as far as uploading goes. So again, Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out all my other Pride videos, and be sure to check out all my other videos. I post kind of when I want to, but I have a lot of good stuff that I recommend checking out, and be sure to subscribe while you're there if you enjoyed these videos. Here's to a great rest of the year, full of wonderful bracelets to add to your collection, and I will see you in the next one.